Hi, guys. Welcome to the next episode of Pickleball Unplugged. Today, we're here with two very special guests. We have with us Vishnu Vardhan, who is a professional Indian tennis player. Represented India on multiple fronts. He's been an Olympian, he's played the Davis Cup, and he's currently also playing tennis professionally. Welcome, Vishnu. And we also have with us Vishal Puna, a very popular figure in the pickleball community right now, but comes with a lot of interesting history. He is an actor, an author, director, a Davis Cup tennis player previously, and now he is playing pickleball as part of the HPL teams. Both these players are part of the same team on HPL, the Mavericks. So we're going to have a very interesting conversation with both of them. And this one, Anisha and I are really excited about, and you will see why. All right, guys. So to start off with, just to dive a little bit into what your history has been as tennis players, and where did you guys first meet each other? Because as we understand, you all know each other for a long time, right?
As far as I remember, I know him since I was like 6 or 7.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, long time ago.
Huh.
So I think we go even way back before that. Actually, our mothers were is the same college. Divya's mother was my mom's senior in college, and so I mean, families knew each other, and he was an immediate senior. And I still remember we were kids. We went in for an under 8, under 10 tournament in Chennai at the time, and as kids, you need a parent to travel with you. And Vishal actually traveled with me and my dad for that.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So you guys have you go long back, right? So you all basically met each other because of tennis. That you two met each other because of tennis. That's the first time you met. Okay, so let's dive a little bit into your context of tennis as athletes first before we sort of get into the whole pickleball bit. So Vishal, tell us about your journey. Where did it start? Where did you draw inspiration to become an athlete or get into tennis to begin
I
with?
think my dad used to go to LB Stadium for walking and stuff. So there was tennis courts there back then. And he wanted me to play some sport. So I think he put me in tennis there. So I started doing well in like, I think within a year of playing tennis, under 8 or under 10, I think that time. So then, then I started performing in 12s, 14s. So I think he got interested, and then my parents put me in as a purpose on tennis.
Okay, amazing. And you ended up, representing India as part of the Davis Cup. So what was that journey like starting off?
Long journey.
Yeah,
Long
yeah,
journey.
yeah.
It's tough, lonely, because you have to like perform every week.
Yeah.
And if you don't perform, just to get back, work hard again. It was a long journey, but end of the day, it all paid off, I guess. Sure. How old were you when you did in? You were 19. So I remember this, like, he was very, very young to debut for India. So, like, very quickly his graph went up because he kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, my graph was like slowly going up, but this guy like suddenly shot up.
Yeah.
Then from, being like someone whom you grew up to, then I started looking up to him.
Right.
Right. And I still remember, and I can kind of openly say that he had like really good serve and volley, very quick hand, but he had a great heart. While playing on good. Itna bada game nahi tha, if you think about it, he didn't like have a very big. No, I didn't have like when I was growing up, I had a good baseline game because I used to idolize Andre Agassi because he had an amazing forehand, backhands, and returns. But then suddenly something changed. I started playing single hand. It was more natural for a servant warrior, be a single hand at that time. So it did turn out to be a single hand play. So I used to slice more, chip and charge more. So one thing you should have when you're doing that is a big serve. So I worked really hard on my serve and developed that part of the game.
Oh, wow. Amazing. So, Vishnu, tell us now that you have so much context about Vishal. We all have met him now, right? And we know him as somebody who is very easy to speak to. Everybody knows he's like outspoken on court, off court, extroverted. Was he always like this?
This is a completely different Vishal that you're talking about, Outspoken, easy to speak was not the Vishal that the Indian tennis circuit knew about him. I mean, he was completely reserved, very focused, rarely see him smile actually. He was very serious, play the tennis match and go back to the room and very, very serious and very ambitious. You could see that, okay, this guy is here, for a purpose, and it was like that. His younger brother Vikas was the complete opposite. He was very social and things like that. And Yeah, I actually, want to bring up on this thing as well. In 2002, Vishal played the national games representing Andhra at the time. He was in the finals, and I was giving a 10th boards at the time. So I was not allowed to come to the stadium and watch the match. There were about 5,000 people. So I was watching the match on TV. And it was a very close match. He lost to Nitin Kirtan at the time. It was a heartbreaker. But I mean, I still remember that match so,
Yeah, I know.
so vivid because it was like what 5,000, 6,000 people watching, and I mean, you were very young,
I was, what, 2017?
17. I mean, for a 17-year-old kid to be over there and have the responsibility and play, I mean, that was incredible
Wow.
as an athlete. Yeah.
Wow. So reserved and barely smiling, Vishal. What led to the transition to who you're today, which is seemingly the complete opposite of
Because
your
by
vibe?
being like that, you don't, people think you're like very arrogant, I guess. And I was like, no, I'm not. I just said I don't like talking to people.
Like, I ask you this, but Karate is talking a lot. So what do you think? You think it's more arrogance is more or less?
I was just going to say, I held myself back. Are you sure people don't think he's still
Arrogant because I know I'm very good at it.
No, but seriously, what were there certain moments or certain experiences in life which sort of, pushed you to become a little more extroverted other than the realization that you wanted to be?
No, yeah, it's just like,
You did stand-up comedy. You did like
no, I didn't do any stand-up comedy. It was not a stand-up comedy. What are you talking about?
I thought I did a YouTube search and
It's a monologue where you have to perform something. It's not a. It was,
but you put yourself out there, right?
yeah. I was like, I was scared.
What was that on?
Yeah, this was something like a monologue slam or something happened in New York where I was,
Okay.
and I was there working.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I just decided to go to do something.
This
This was way back in 2014, 15.
2014. Okay.
I was like, chalo, karte hain kuch
Yeah.
different. So before that, I wanted to like, I saw other people perform in front of like, I think 100, 200 people. I was like, no, man, I'm not going to do this. I wanted to withdraw my name. Then I was like, you know what, worst case scenario, you're not going to say anything.
Say anything.
I
Yeah.
went there, said it. So, yeah,
Yeah. Was it scary?
very scary.
Yeah. So would you say that was sort of initiation into you
Yes. Yeah.
becoming a little
Sort of. Just-
social?
just
Yeah.
starting, yeah.
Okay.
But then you always have this thing with, I never asked you this also, but like movies and
Yeah,
I think you always had that growing.
I had it, but I was like really scared. I never used to talk to many people, right? I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So,
Okay. So we will dive into, your acting career and director and author and all of that. But before that, just want to like shift focus to Vishnu and understand about your history as well, Vishnu. What started off your journey as an athlete?
Yeah, so my dad, he grew up in a very small village in Tamil Nadu and then moved to Hyderabad and set up his own business over here. So he felt he never really had big opportunities to play a sport. So he wanted me to pursue a sport, and that's how it actually started. And then I fell in love with this game, and I was again, those days, it's not that you're planning to be a professional tennis player because you're doing well in the under 12s and 14s. So I won the nationals in 14, 16, 18. Played for India in the under 16 Junior Davis Cup. So that gave some validation that I could kind of pursue it, and had a really good coach. My coach, C.V. Nagaraj, who is still, a father figure that I look up to. So was there behind me. So yeah, one thing led to another, and my graph was like very gradually going up, growing. So and I was fortunate to have like really good seniors, just ahead of me, that okay, when I felt that if they could achieve, even I could achieve, right?
I know.
So very similar, like when I saw like Vishal or other players with whom I grew up, that they played for India and playing exceptionally well. So, and as Vishal said that he made this transition in his game with serve and volley, I still remember that. Again, very specific into tennis, I would love his slice serve on the deuce board. He would really, I don't know if you still remember that. He was, I was good at it. Like, he was so good at it. And my flat serve on the deuce court was like really good. But then when I would see him curve that, I'm talking about it, I'm getting goosebumps. Like, kaise nikalte hai bhai ye bahar? So I'm like, okay, I need to do that. I need to keep curving like how Vishal does, So I mean, and I'm fortunate to have that experience, and very grateful for the career I've had so far.
Wow, amazing. And you're currently also playing tennis professionally, So we were recently speaking about this, and you did mention that it is a very interesting mindset game where sometimes you become overly attached to the identity of an athlete, right? So tell us a little bit about that as well. What are the upsides, downsides, if any, of that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel I've identified myself so much as a pro tennis player, and I'm into business right now. We have an e-commerce store selling tennis, pickle, paddle products and stuff. And I spend a lot of time on that particular front, but still I introduce myself as a pro tennis player.
Right.
You know, and I think it's because that your entire life you've been pursuing a certain goal and an ambition, and you get so stuck upon it, and you never know that, you know, maybe it's time. So, right, you know, it becomes really difficult on that. But I mean, I'm seeing the positives of it is that I still be very focused with my diet, with my sleep, because I want to play professional, right? So that advantages are there, but it comes with its own downside as well.
Yeah, yeah. What would those be, so to speak?
Yeah, you just don't know when the time is right. So I think that is like the biggest downside. You're pushing really hard. Some days I'm being very, very hard on myself.
Right.
Being a pro tennis player, and it's not easy. I'm 38 right now, and I'm competing with players who are 20, 21, and it's really difficult to match their energy, fitness,
Right.
I'm
Right.
pushing myself very hard aspects.
Yeah. So if you were to objectively look at it, do you have a sense of how many more years you're going to do this, or is it something that you've kicked the can down the road and you're going to see when it's time?
Yeah, so a few years back, I was telling myself that, okay, I need to give time for myself. And if I don't maintain a certain ranking, then I call it a day. But now I'm just seeing it like, 3 months ahead. So the next 3 months, these are my goals.
Yeah.
And this is what I want to, achieve or maintain. And as long as I'm doing that, I'll continue. So I'm not looking too far ahead.
Okay. Okay. So we've spoken about how, that Vishal's transition from, let's say, a rather reserved, introverted person to now a very
But I only
extroverted
talk to
person.
people I know. I know you guys from past 10 months. Because
Vishal, but the first time I spoke to you, we didn't know each other, and I wouldn't say you were reserved then.
how long did we talk to?
How long did we talk?
You know where we met first time?
Where?
Paddle Park.
Ha.
So you said hi, I said hi. Imanshu said, she is my wife. I said, okay, fine. That's all.
But you didn't come across as somebody who's reserved.
Because I was talking to all the boys. And who I know.
I didn't realize those gender.
No, not like that. When I first started playing pickleball in
Yeah.
Hyderabad, I played with your husband.
Yeah.
There was Ani there.
Yeah.
So that's how I met them. And Rahul then later came in. So he introduced me to, I was like, I know these guys.
Yeah.
So that then we started talking and stuff.
Right. Fair enough. I'll give that to you.
I never spoke to Fairoz.
But he observed Feiruz's game from afar. Like,
How many times did I speak to you?
Okay, but
I should know people to
to
talk.
be fair, you saw her and you said Feroz, right? Hi, you initiated. Would you do that back then?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't even down to the people you do back then.
So Vishal, you tell us, now that you've also known Vishnu for so long, have you seen some kind of a change in
Yeah.
terms of
Yes.
who he was then? Got it. What about
He
that?
talks more now. Even he never used to talk. Thanks to Sonia, I guess.
Sonia is Vishnu's wife, guys, and also a player in Raptors, just FYI.
So yeah, I think it's because of Sonia is more out there talking to people and stuff.
Okay.
And he was also very focused. Like
Yeah.
tennis khelna, I have to achieve something,
Hmm.
and I don't care about what other people think or what they're doing. And one more thing is he did the RB training, which I'm very proud.
Yes.
oh, yeah. Okay.
I
I'm very, very, very clever.
into that.
So I'm getting goosebumps. now. Anmi is like, it's more than playing for the country or anything. It's like
Right.
next level.
Right.
I think that incorporates another element of discipline probably in your routine as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been very disciplined my entire life, but this being a part of that basic military training, I did 31 days of training over there. It was literally next level. Over there, yeah.
Yeah. Was it significantly different from what you had, the kind of discipline you had been practicing for the sport of tennis? Was it significantly different from that, or was it just like slightly harder?
I think significantly different because in tennis, I mean, you still do like an assessment. If you're not feeling too well, you have a leeway that, okay, today's day might not be that tough. You're giving yourself rest. But in army training, come what may, I mean, you might be sick, you might had a late night for some reason, but morning you have to show up. I mean, every single day before the sunrise happened, I was dead. We had to do like a 5 kilometer running and then do the exercises even before the sunrise. And the concept is that even before the sun rises, you got to be ready. So that was the concept. And then through the entire day, you have chores, so you're literally packed. So there is no time for you to even think, right? So, and I feel that is something that right now on a day-to-day basis, we kind of overthink on every single aspect. And over there, you have literally no time to think about it. And then following orders is at paramount importance. And over here, growing up, my coach would give me something to do and I would literally do it, right? And now anything you want to tell a young kid, you have like 10 questions coming in. Asking questions is raw, but sometimes you just got to do what someone is asking you to do. So these are a few things that I, learned from there. And again, I never thought I had an ego. Again, that's when the identification was there. So over there, I realized that I'm still identifying myself so much as a tennis player. So whatever ego I had was completely crushed. He had the army training. So.
Right, nice. And is Vishal right in saying that it was Sonia played a big role in you sort of becoming a little more comfortable speaking to people? Is that true?
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what you do when you get married to a Mumbai girl. Something which is common for me and you.
See, so a lot of commonalities beyond just the gig. Yeah, very interesting.
Open you up. भाई हम बॉम्बे से है और मुंबई से है, so Hyderabad people just open up little.
Is that true for you also? Take your wife?
Pretty, yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is unbelievable. Okay.
Well, you guys clearly have a lot of commonality.
Yeah.
I want to shift things slightly to a different gear. To a magical moment, I think, to the first week that Vishnu, you started playing in your singles match against Bhaskar. And I think that's when we could really see the both of y'all's like friendship in action. Could you like talk us through what was kind of happening in that match? Because you were down a bit. You had just returned from like a pretty strenuous like tennis circuit. And I think that was like one of the first or second times you had stepped on the court to actually play pickleball.
Yeah.
But can you talk us through what was like happening in that match? And then Vishal, what were you, kind of encouraging Vishnu to do, or were you talking strategy? Like what was happening? Because your game kind of just completely changed, I think. And it was a pretty significant margin, I think, that you were down by, and you just came back and captured it.
Down 13-6 or 12-6.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on his side. I remember I was sitting on this side when he was down 12-6.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, man, I have to go tell him to do something which I know if he does it, we're going to win it.
Yeah.
So I quickly walked on the other side. I told him exactly what to do. And the thing is, he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Armor training in action.
Yes. So basically telling is, yes, I can tell 1,000 things. If a player can't implement that, no matter how much you tell, if the player doesn't have the capability to implement that, it's waste of, everything basically.
Right.
So I think he was good in that. So he could implement exactly what I told him to do, and it turned out good for him.
Yeah.
No, for me, that shows that how quickly he could understand things, and that's the experience that he had playing the sport at a very high level. And for me, I got onto the court. I don't play a lot of pickleball. I can literally count the number of times I got onto the court to play pickle, and then so even that day I was having a great time on court. And in tennis, what happens is that every 2 games, you have a minute and a half to rest and then, analyze what's happening and make changes. But over here, it's just 15 points and it goes away like really, really quickly. So I was playing a certain style, getting my tennis game, into pickle, and I felt Bhaskar was like really comfortable in that sorts. And I felt I was playing good, but he was just playing better. And I was telling myself, okay, he's playing better than me today, and maybe just today is not my day.
Yeah.
But then just those 2-3 things that he told me got me like few strings of points, and that made a huge difference. And I was, glad that, and I guess that chemistry is something that we always shared. Me looking up to him as a mentor, as my senior growing up. So when he shared those bits to me, and it was immediately working. It was a difference of day and night.
I know.
Nothing happened.
12-6 or 13-6, and then he beat him like I think 15-12 right from there. And he did a very good job. As I tell, saying is different, but he actually doing that and finishing the match.
Yeah. Oh, that was one of the best comebacks that we've seen.
But it really just showed both of y'all's kind of dynamic and action. I thought that was really wonderful because obviously, like, I mean, I think as Mavericks, there's a really nice like team culture, but this was a specific like micro moment for that team, and that was really lovely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, tennis is such an individual sport, and I feel it's kind of a selfish sport as well. And there are very few opportunities that you play in a team scenario, either you're playing for your state or for your country. And I always enjoyed doing that. So even I remember after winning that particular match, I went first to hug him because it was not just victory, but it was victory as well. And then I went and took hands with Bhaskar. So I mean, it's really special, and I feel the whole HPL, the stage has been set up really big. And as a tennis player, the only time I could play on a stage like this was when I literally played an ATP or a Grand Slam or playing for India. So over here, just for the Hyderabad community to set up a stage as big as this to play pickleball,
And that too within a year. Or, pickleball actually blowing up
That's true.
in Hyderabad.
That's true. So that's actually a great segue into moving to your pickleball journeys now, right? Like as professional tennis players, and you have to be honest about this, when you first saw pickleball, what was your first thought?
This is the easiest sport you can ever play in your life. It's yes. Okay, give me which sport you can play for a month and play at a decent level. Give me one sport.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. That is a pair. I will not pair.
Okay, from a tennis player point of view, I think it's the easiest sport.
Right.
From a layman's point of view, maybe it's not.
Right.
Or at some point, at least on the first day, you can hit a couple of balls here and there, going back and forth.
100%.
No other sport you can do that.
100%. What about you, Vishnu? What was your first thought when you saw pickleball?
Yeah, I mean, the first thought was like very similar, I mean, it looks to be like really easy. You cannot call it a professional sport.
Right.
But now having played the sport, quite a bit and being involved with players, competing with really good players.
Yeah.
And especially after my last doubles match.
Oh, no.
Oh, what happened in that one?
When we lost, I think 15-2. I was like, dude.
I was literally asked to come out of the court.
It's all, hold on. It's all because of Gopi.
Wait, didn't he say when Gopi
He's your wife here.
Yeah.
You're a Gopi man, not Gopi.
No, we have to dive deep into that particular aspect. But coming back to the specifics, so it's definitely a sport where it's very easy to play, very easy to get started. And that's the reason I think it's just blowing up. People are having an opportunity to play like an outdoor active sport. But then to master it, it's completely a different ball game. No, I mean, I remember.
It's in any sport, right? If you want to be good at something, you have to put in the work.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if it's pickleball, right? You have to still put in that work.
Right.
I'm saying it's easy to pick up the game, right? Easy to play, easy to pick up. Easier.
The barrier to entry is
very easy, right?
Yes.
Very, very easy.
Yeah.
So, if you want to master, of course, any sport you take, you have to put in your work. Without putting in work, you can't become a very good.
It becomes a best in that particular aspect. Yes,
And you're saying that as somebody who practices a lot?
Well,
How often do you guys actually meet as a team?
0. So only when I feel that acha chalo thoda khelte hain. So I tell Srikarana, like, Srikar, let's get together and practice. Like, okay, Vishal, if you want to practice, I'll arrange. So till now it happened only once, I guess. But, see, to be honest, I don't need practice, but
Oh my God.
because I usually play with Srikar, right? I usually play with Srikar, and I'm good enough in pickleball or to practice, especially in Hyderabad, for Hyderabad pickleball.
So we can scrap the needs a lot of work to master except for Vishar.
Except for Vishal. No, I still need, see, even last game,
Yeah.
Vishnu is pretty new to pickleball, especially in doubles, right?
Yeah.
So it took time for him. So if I don't have a good partner, or if he doesn't know how to play that, that singles is very good at, which I'm not very good at, right? Doubles, he has to still learn that, little techniques of doubles,
Yeah.
right? In pickleball, you can't pop up the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think if he plays, practices like 2-3 hours or 2 days, I think he's going to get it. So then we'll see who we are going to be.
We actually that, Srikhar made sure who's our captain, and I feel he's having a great wealth of knowledge, and you need to make sure that we make the best use of him, because I remember he we wanted to try out some doubles competition. So he came all the way to where I live and then practice some doubles. And I never knew. I mean, the kitchen area in pickleball is like so small,
Yeah.
and he dissected that into 3 different parts. I never knew that there were 3 different parts in pickleball. Abhi. He just dissected the kitchen inside the kitchen. It's just inside the kitchen, like 3 different things in kitchen. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know, this is like you've done PhD in pickleball over here. Yeah? But of course, I mean, he makes the game look so easy. I remember that very good hand. That practice session, we played for like 2 hours. I changed 2 t-shirts. This guy didn't even break a sweat. Well, he doesn't move. He just stands there like, okay, there, you hit the ball hard to me like this. You hit the ball slow to me like this. Okay. You know, I mean, in tennis, every shot you load and then you release. So that's what I'm trying to do over here in pickleball. And this guy is standing. He's not bending down. He's just using his hand. I'm like, man, you know, I'm exhausted by the end of it, and this guy hasn't even, broken a sweat. So
Yeah. Okay, amazing. No, I think we've all seen how effortlessly Shrikar plays, and that is something that the entire community admires about him, right? It is unbelievable. I don't think there's any other player like he has a very unique
Yeah,
gameplay.
that's-
Very, very unique gameplay, and there is no ball that goes past him.
No,
There is
hardly any.
yes,
Right? You
yes.
hit the ball hard, you hit the ball soft, it comes back.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys would say that you all are fortunate to be in his team, or
I mean, I think I'm very lucky to be in his team because no other team would understand the way I am and the coach, no practice. And people will think that, oh, he doesn't practice by what, what is this going on?
yeah.
But I think he knows. He knows me from past, I think, 8-9 months
Right.
as I started playing the sport.
Yeah, you guys have played together
Yeah,
a lot in
yeah,
tournaments.
yeah.
In fact, I remember.
We lost any match.
Yeah, in fact, I remember that for a long time in the pickleball circuit, Sameer and Vivek were the unbeatable champions, right? Until Shrikar and Vishal started playing together and they caused some upsets. And then there was like a new phase of pickleball that with new champions that.
I still remember it was that Pickle Slam like team event
Yeah.
where I think Shrikar blocked an ATP or
No.
that Sameer implement, and then he did an ATP that other team.
Like changed the whole.
Yes.
Yes. So that was one of the.
And then like, Vishal gave the biggest celebratory of his life.
No, I was like, they're gonna. I mean, he and Shrikar are like, think, and at least in Hyderabad, you're the best team,
Yeah.
undoubtedly. So
Yeah.
we can beat anyone on any day.
Right.
And we have maybe like 1 or 2% chance of losing if one of us are injured. So
So actually, that is a good. Yeah.
1 or 2% chance of losing if one of us.
us are injured, and mostly it's gonna be me. Plus the way I play, not him, because he doesn't move. He's like, yeah, I'm so talented, I don't have to move.
No, but I actually want to get into that, right? So it is true. When you guys play together, you don't lose. So what led you guys to break that pair up in the last match and explore with new partners? Because Gopi said it in the last episode as well. He's like, we start off with a 1-0.
Okay, so basically he wanted to change the partner, to be honest. Gopi. He's like, Anna, hey Gopi, for you. He's like, yeah, Anna, I said something in the podcast, so I need to change I was like, dude, we are winning. You said something on the podcast.
Yeah.
I want to change it. Like,
Yeah.
we are giving you a 1 love lead.
Correct.
Like, right on the...
Beginning of it.
Yeah. And that gives a good confidence for our girls to come and perform. On that note, girls, you did amazing job.
Way better than the men.
I mean, because of you girls and here guys sitting here on the tie, to be honest, and especially last match,
Yeah.
Shrikar. So he's like, no, I want to play with Shrikar. He's been like eating our brains since the first pack. I was like, no, dude, we are going to go in. 90% of chances are we are going to win the first match. We're going to give a boost to the whole team because it's not a individual sport, right? It's a
Yeah.
team. If one doesn't perform, the whole, it's. So I was like, he's like, no, I want to play with Shrikar. I was like, okay, let's try. I didn't want to try, to be honest. Shrikar didn't have an option. So Shrikar is like, okay, fine, I'll try. And Vishnu is here. So why don't you just play with Vishnu?
Yeah.
And because Nandu was traveling
Okay.
for his badminton tournament and stuff.
Right.
And he landed a day before or something.
Okay.
So he didn't, playing badminton, coming back and playing pickleball and stuff. So we thought it was going to be difficult for him. And we wanted to try something new. So I didn't actually, to be honest, I didn't come on that day to play. So I thought it's going to be full love.
Ah,
I'm just being honest.
fair enough. Absolutely.
And one doubt I had with his singles match.
Correct.
Because Vijay is really good.
Yeah.
He really improved a
Yeah.
couple of months.
Yeah.
You have seen his progress.
Correct.
So to be honest, I didn't know Vijay till before the auction.
Right.
And Shekhar Bhaiya said he played with him, but I really don't remember.
Right.
So,
Oh, is it?
but during the auction, I came to know what he did
Yeah.
last couple of months. I was okay, he's a good player. And then I watched a couple of his matches during the HPL.
Right.
I said he's a good player. He's playing very good. So that aspect he doesn't play.
Hmm.
So I was like, it's going to be a tough match.
Yeah.
But you never know, right?
Right.
The way he played the first match with Bhaskar,
Right.
being down and coming and winning a match. It might be a 50-50 chance.
Hmm.
But I take the risk.
Hmm.
Why to? And I didn't play for like 2 weeks, to be honest. And I was like, ठीक है, try करते हैं. And we had chances of winning the first match, to be honest.
Okay.
It was really close, 14-16.
Yeah.
You were up. Things did work out. It's
Yeah.
fine. But end of the day, we won the tie. So
Yes.
that's
So,
my-
so all is forgotten. It was one. Yes, all is well. Okay, amazing. And Vishnu, we've just discussed how you've come into the pickleball circuit very recently, right? So as currently somebody who's a professional tennis player, parallelly managing playing pickleball in a setup which is, fairly professional for the Hyderabad community. How are you going about that grind, managing two professional sports?
No, I mean it's definitely not easy. But I'm very happy that the schedules are quite flexible with the HPL, so I'm able to still come out and play a few matches. And initially, I spoke to Shrikar, I think the last day to register. I still remember I was in China, and then we spoke, and I told him that I'll not be able to commit, but he still wanted to take a chance.
Right.
Even if few matches is there, even if I can help the team out a bit. But having said that, I think we have like really good players. Yashwant is playing very well.
Right.
Actually, the day I played against Bhaskar, I played a practice match with Yashwant. I actually lost to him. So I'm like, man, maybe you need to take your reconsider the options. But again, I mean, I feel overall the playing practice and playing on a stage like that, it's completely different. And again, it makes a huge difference to have someone like Vishal and Shrikar on the team. And Shrikar, I think as a captain, hands down, he understands each player very well and then interacts to them in a way that's comfortable for
that.
right.
Yeah.
And even Vishal, even though he's having his seniority over Shrikar, still respects the decision of Shrikar. You could see very clearly that even though he was not on board with the decisions Shrikar took with doubles, but still he was a complete team player, tried his best, right? So it does happen. And then when you're having a bit of a lead in on the table, you can afford to take some risk and try out different combinations to see what actually works for you and what doesn't. And I feel even Gopi and Shrikar, the really good team.
They won a tournament before a week before they started, right?
Yes.
So that's I think one of the reasons also Gopi wanted to see if they can create the magic.
Yeah.
They almost did, but
It was hard luck. Yeah.
It was a difficult match. I mean, Shashak and Nikhil also played really well.
I really didn't expect
Shashank.
Shashank, right?
Peter
He
Shashank,
played,
yeah.
because I watched previous matches of his. He was missing a lot of balls that time.
Right.
I was like, okay, this should be a comfortable win. That's what I
Right.
thought. But I think even Nikhil played an awesome game.
Amazing game.
And because the first two matches, I think it was a lot of under pressure.
Yeah.
He underperformed basically.
Right.
He was caliber,
Right.
right? But this match, I think he played really well.
Really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So, Vishu, tennis and pickleball, right? In tennis, from the outside, when you see, the audience is extremely quiet, very well behaved, and fully there to support the players in the sense that, we've discussed this, whether if somebody even makes a sound or causes some kind of disturbance, they are escorted out, right? HPL is the other end of the spectrum, right?
the rowdy crowd, it is.
You have people whistling, heckling, sledging, cheering, and there is this additional element that you have to sort of account for while playing. So, how different is that? Is that something that when you're on court, you sort of tune it out, or is it something that you've had to really, adapt to and manage? How's it been?
Yeah, I mean, it's completely different, compared to what I'm used to it. And initially I was thinking, okay, let me just tune out everything and then not like listen. But then in the end, you are hearing stuff, right? So now I've come to this stage where I'm going to accept, right? I'm going to acknowledge the fact that this is going to be there, and I will try to do whatever best I can. I still remember in the last singles match, just before I served, someone shouted out. And I'm like, okay, who was that? I just need to know who is it. And she's like, it's me. Okay, I haven't served yet. And I actually wanted to interact, and she said sorry, and I'm like, okay. So I could like kind of acknowledge the fact that it actually disturbed me, and I'm putting an end to it, and then getting back to my point.
Same thing happened when even with the first, like you played All Star, right?
Yeah.
First match.
Yeah.
So I think, what was the kid's name? So anyway, Samir's partner was
Akshat.
Akshat,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Akshat was about to serve, and I was starting to return. Someone from behind said, "Come on, Samir." I was like, "Dude, can we start playing?" Because that guy haven't even started doing anything. I turned, I was like, "Oh, like we're smiling up notes."
At the end, which is important, where instead of like tuning out because that's constantly
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
You want to maybe have an interaction on acknowledge that particular thing that it's happened now.
And then
I think that was really smart of you to do and handled it so well because I feel like there were other
I
moments.
was smiling also.
Yeah,
Saying, "You're
it
serious."
was,
Like now, it was
Yeah, it didn't come off that you were annoyed or anything like that.
a mood.
But you still made it work in your favor, and I thought that was really nice because there were other moments in HBO where I think there was a lot of slinching, a lot of heckling.
Yeah.
And I think it was really disturbing a lot of players, but they were just like kind of ignoring it. But I think this is really nice where it's a tactic of acknowledging it, but then saying like, okay, I hold the power because I'm actually literally about to serve right
First
now.
time, I think she did it, right? It was a couple of
A couple of times that she did it, and then after that particular thing, because when you're in the crowd, you feel that okay, there are like 100 people. If I say something, I'll not be known. But then at that point, now she's like, okay, now everyone is looking at me.
Exactly.
In there now,
it's no one is was she to do there. Still said couple of plucky soccer, that.
okay.
But it's all fun, right? It's like
Yeah.
So I mean, the best part is that there's so much happens when you're playing, or your emotions are really high. There's high adrenaline, or when you're playing, and then things get said. But then the best part is that once the match is over, I can see that the entire team, the entire
Yeah.
HPL community kind of gets together. We have a meal together, So I think that's how it should be. But taking anything back,
And yeah,
and you have the podcast to vent on everything.
But on another note, but on another note, on another note about like I think you're such a great team player because even after like your singles win, I know after that Bhaskar match you immediately went to Vishal and obviously congratulated your opponent. But what I also remember about you is like it's not about you. You're like Mavericks. So I think you do a really great job of like centering, that individual win. You were talking about like tennis being an individual sport, individual glory. But I think you're also really great in transitioning to the team part of like pickleball right now and like really leaning into that. So I think that's something that's worth mentioning too.
100%. I mean, because tennis, I feel, is like really lonely. And then there have been so many weeks where, end of the tournament, I'm winning the tournament. But then there are like 10 people watching us. There is no one to celebrate the particular first match. Everyone is moving in for the
next tournament. You are the only two people, you
and your opponent.
the only two people playing the finals. There's no one there. It's really lonely. And all your friends who you traveled with, they go to the other tournament because they have to start playing there. And you're left alone. So you're alone in the room, then traveling alone. There's no one to practice, especially for the finals. Sometimes you even practice with your opponent because he doesn't have anyone. So it's like,
so having, experiencing that, and then when there's like a team environment, I feel like a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And
it changes, right? Like the whole energy, you feel like someone is there to support me.
Exactly. And that's so even that first singles match, I could see like literally the entire Mavericks team like being on their toes, supporting me. And then even though I was like down, they were still cheering me. I still remember a side change. I gave him a big lead, but then the entire team, including you, they were like, it's okay, like pushing me through. So they still believed in me. Then, so it's just not my victory. I of course give a lot of credit to Vishal for the tactic that he shared, and then the entire team. So,
and one more thing is, even next week she's going to do the same.
No. I am supporting the Dynamos because I am on the Dynamos next week. So Anisha is playing for the Mavericks. Sorry.
Exactly, she's playing for Mavericks behind the scenes.
Guys, the Mavericks don't need me to play for them, okay? Come on.
So Anisha is part of the Dynamos. She's been picked up as part of the Dynamos. But of course, every chance she's got, she's always supported Mavericks. But next week, they're going to be playing each other.
And when she's got like doubles, if she misses a lot, she's like, oh.
That's such a nice excuse. Let's actually blame it on my game if I do that.
Vivek, choose kora bhai no.
I'm not going to say I did not. I've said what needs to be said.
So which team do you really associate your
The Dynamos.
And now Dynamos, of course. I'm like, and she's not playing a match. She always comes to cheer her. Even last week we saw him. Once she's done with her team's match, you always do.
Anisha is at a loss of words.
We like your support.
I know. I think my support is critical.
Okay. So now that we've been speaking about the Hyderabad Pickleball League, right? So to get into some thoughts and opinions about the teams, the players. So if you guys had an opportunity, or let's say if you were not part of Mavericks, which is the one other team that you would have liked to be a part of? Vishal, you can go first.
Segu's team, I guess, because he's a friend.
Titans.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because he's a
Okay.
friend. Because I think that's the only team.
Okay.
Yes.
How about you, Vishal?
I think probably the Nandi Chargers because Sonia is part of the team and
Raptors.
I'm sorry. Okay, I'll go. Yeah, I think I would be choosing the Raptors because Sonia is a part of the team and I've been following.
One thing. When we met before the second match, before Oscar's tie, you came in for that match. So I told Shrikar Bhaiya that we'll take Sonia because I played with Sonia, partner Sonia in a match.
Yeah.
And I said we'll take her. You know what he said? I mean, sorry, we don't need her because then we'll end up fighting. And now you say you'll go to Raptors.
No, Are Sonia is not in the team.
Now he said just 2 weeks. She's in the one.
Because she's in the team. The question was which team.
And then you said you go to Raptors because Sonia is in the team.
Because
You didn't let it finish.
yeah, he didn't let me finish. बात तो करने दे भाई. No, I just like the the professionalism that they are bringing into this league. Even though it's not a small league anymore, but that's how it started off. But regular practice sessions and the team owners also really involved into the team and then supporting the players in a really good way, in a very positive way. Even though they had 2 losses, not being like it's like 3-1 ups in both the ties. It takes a lot for you to come back and then playing a dream breaker again or what we call it,
Game break.
again, and going through the emotions all over again. And it's I think
We literally, it's called a dream breaker in MS.
I see it. To be honest, on papers, it's supposed to be one of the best teams of all stars. They
Right.
have beaten them. And-
Right. Yeah. It is definitely like an upset that in the league, which was, it's a good win for us.
Very good win.
Yes.
I think it provides you guys much needed momentum.
And it got you back in the
Yeah.
on.
It did.
It broke. I think you said it broke a pattern, right?
It is.
So
In fact,
It does.
I remember the first game when Siam and Rahul played. Siam and Rahul have been winning, right? And
Correct.
they've been winning the last 2 games. And this time they couldn't do their best and they lost the first game. And instead of feeling bad, my first thought was, we've broken the pattern. This game is coming to us.
no.
It was like, because we were winning, we were 3-1 up, and then we were losing the game. This time, it was the folks who couldn't win the last 3 games. They took over and they performed. And
That's what happened with Nandi also, right? Last week.
yes,
Shrikar and Shrikar Ala
yeah, and Giri.
and Girish.
Yeah.
They lost the first 2
Yes.
tie matches.
Yes,
And they went and came back and won this one. And the team which we were waiting for and lost this. So I think that the
the
that
pattern
broke,
being
yeah.
broken. Yeah, 100%. Okay, so you would go to the Titans and you would go to the Raptors. Yes, okay,
the
great.
Titans because of Nikhil is there, of course, and
Yeah, and Tejesh. Okay. And who's the one player in the entire league that you would have really liked to have on your team? You can say 3 players as well, but one player that you really would have liked to have on your team that went to another team.
female also is fine.
Yeah.
Veda or Veda Fairoz is there. I mean, I have couple, but all females. It was
Yes.
Ramya, all the best girls, yeah.
Yeah.
Niharika, Ramya,
Yeah.
Fairoz, and Veda.
Rera.
I think any one of them is fine.
Amazing. How about you, Vishnu?
Not really. I think our team is like really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I really like how Samir is playing. So
Right.
yeah.
Right.
So probably Samir would be one pick for me.
Yeah,
But apart
yeah.
from that, yeah.
Vishal was almost going to say something, but he didn't.
If this guy didn't play, Anisha was supposed to come to our team. So
Aha.
It's okay. I think it's really good that Vishnu is on the team, guys.
That's what the plan was. Like one more girl in, so that one of the girls are not available. At least we have a strong doubles. At least we have that backup, right, of a strong doubles player, senior player. But
Absolutely.
unlucky, she's gone to Dynamos, right? And this guy is not going to be there. Say, one more week. Could have been in Arten.
Yeah, currently you guys are the table toppers. So which is one team?
When you this was for you.
Are you putting on shades to throw shade or let those?
Because Gopi did that last time. Table toppers. I said when you say table toppers, you
Okay.
So you guys have already played All Stars, you've played Smashers, and then last week you played the Titan. Right? So amongst the games that are left, is there one team that you feel like, okay, this could be
No, yeah, right now all the teams are balanced pretty good. To be honest, all the teams are good. Some has good female players, like Starry Smashers has a really good female.
Yes.
Your team has good female.
Yeah.
All three are good,
Right.
And I partnered you. I know
Yeah.
good enough. I partnered Sonia. This was Niharika wins most of the mixed doubles nowadays. They pass curves.
Right.
Like all the teams are balanced out to be honest,
Right.
except our team.
Your team's not balanced.
They are in one team, right? They have two strong, the best two doubles player in Hyderabad. So that gives us a reason. Gopi, it's all because of you. I'm saying this.
Gopi seems to be rubbing off a lot.
On Misha, yeah.
Vishal, like,
But something tells me he would have brought this energy regardless of your big.
It was all because of Gopi.
So, you guys haven't lost a single tie yet, right? Which is the team? Of course, all the teams are well balanced, not to take away from any other team. Which is one team where you feel like, okay, it's possible they cause an upset with the Mavericks. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, and I think the Raptors are one team which has, like, we have you, Sonia, and Niharika. Good in doubles, good in singles, good in mix. Then you have Rahul and Sayam, right?
Yes.
Who is doing really well now.
Yes.
I've beaten two good teams, family. So as a partner, right?
Correct.
So I think you guys are doing really well. And I was having a chat with Rahul yesterday.
Right.
And I was like, dude, you guys, I think right now from next 4 matches and Starry Smashers. Forgot about them. They are like the best female lineup, right?
Yeah.
So that's going to be one tough match. So 2 tough matches we are looking into.
Okay.
But other matches we don't know. Like we thought we were going to be 4-0 last week.
Right.
But it ended up being 4-2 because
Right.
the star players of, according to Gopi, lost their boat. So,
Right.
yeah, so it can go either way, to be honest. One that, I lost last week. Shikarana lost last week.
Right.
So if the girls and this guy didn't perform,
Yeah.
you would have actually lost 6-love,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
So, and our, what's her name? Satvika was down 10-2 or 10-4.
Yes. Yes.
So
yes.
she came back from there. So,
Yeah,
if the tie could have gone like.
It could have gone anyway. Yes. Yes.
So I think they got lucky,
Oh.
to be honest.
I completely agree. And especially Salpita's match, I think that's one of the best women's singers
So good, right?
in a very long time.
No, you should was the first. She was down the All Stars.
With
Veda, she was
Bhatika
down
Veda.
12-6. And she came back from there and won like I think 15-12. So she's like
The comeback queen, yeah.
comeback queen of.
But
Yes.
I have to also commend the women on the other team. Like Veda's playing so well. I think she played. And she's so solid. I think that was one of the best matches I'd seen Veda play. Moksha really showed me a fighting spirit too. Really? So,
Yes.
yeah.
Expect her to play so well. She was dripping that forehand course so well last week.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. It was a really, really good game. I didn't have the chance to see it because we had a game going on.
Yeah.
But I did see it live. A lot of her, even her backhand cross courts, right?
Yeah.
Passing shots were just
Yeah.
stunning. So
So kudos to Satvika for bringing out these women's best games as well, in addition to her own best games. So-
yes, absolutely. All right. Last question to wrap up this podcast with you guys. It's been a pleasure having y'all. But which are the 4 teams that you think are going to top the table at the end of this?
Personally, I want the Raptors, Starry Smashers, because Rahul and you are there in the team. And Starry Smashers because Harsh is there.
Right.
We, of course. And other one I didn't care.
You just said Segu was a friend.
Yeah, Sego, yeah. But they have to make a good comeback, right? Down to 1. None of the Chargers are in a good position. So they have to win all their matches now. So
Yeah.
Are you not going to say Mavericks? Like, sort of.
He said, "Go, you did."
So by default. Yeah, I mean, sadly have to see your Mavericks and the Raptors final. And I feel Raptors, I think they are one of the strongest team. They were just unlucky they lost the first two matches. Otherwise, they would be, up
In that, in the
no.
top 2, top 3, right?
Yeah, just very unlucky just to lose that. So, but they still have a good chance to kind of make a comeback.
Come back. Yes. Absolutely. So do you agree with the top 4 that he's in?
I think I would agree with the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Or who would be a 4th team?
Looking at it now, like the table I saw, I think Nandi Chargers, I think 1 or 2 more wins would be there because they won all 3 matches.
Right.
If just looking at the table, I think Nandi has a very good chance.
Chance of being.
I think that they need 1 match, and I think they are in there.
Yeah.
All Stars have good chance. I think every team has them.
Right.
Right now, everything is like, top 2 are set, I think, but 3, 4 they have to fight it out. But
I think the next Friday match would be really important for
all the teams,
all the teams.
especially like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Right.
Yeah, I've been part of the Tennis Premier League, so I know that there is of this. We play the leagues for 5 days, 6 days,
Right.
and there is
Right.
1 day in between, which is like really crucial for all the teams because that kind of decides the thing. So I think the next
Yeah.
Friday would be kind of a decision.
Yeah, lot of matches.
For
Everyone is like, lot of teams are 1-2.
Right.
Lot of teams are 1.
Correct. Correct.
1 win and 2 losses.
Yeah.
Most of the teams.
Yes. So it will finally we'll have a very clear table emerge after the next Friday. Yes.
Upsets have been happening. Yeah. So, you never know what might happen next Friday. So,
Amazing.
the Dynamos might just
Cause the biggest upset of
get ready, guys.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Vishal and Vishnu. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. And see you all next episode.